Welcome back. It's your boy Fresh.
And I'm Mary, and we are a Co-ople of nerds.
Welcome to the SAGA Genesis, November 1990. The real gamers all have the same favorite console, the Sega Genesis. Is it a surprise? God loved Sega so much, he named the first book in the Bible Genesis.
Genesis.
16-bit sports action.
After all, the Genesis does what Nintendo don't.
Gotta go. Hey, guy, you're the first serious gamer I've seen all morning. Check this out. Brand new 16-bit Super Nintendo with Super Mario World. Wow!
What's this one?
Oh, this is a Sonic the Hedgehog from Sega Genesis.
In 2024, the Genesis turns 35 years old.
You've got Stimpy's invention.
In this series, we will travel 35 years into the past each month, where we will collect, review, and rank every North American licensed Sega Genesis game ever made, except for Outback Joey.
Powdered toast, man.
F. Outback Joey.
To save himself, he launches a right hand to the kangaroo's snout.
And all of Australia, for that matter.
The Sega Genesis has blast processing. Super Nintendo doesn't.
We will be using the generally accepted list of games and their release dates. Did we get one wrong?
Shut up, nerd! Shut up, nerd!
Welcome to the SAGA Genesis.
And what if you don't have blast processing?
So we had a viewer, Joseph, point out that our list, I didn't expect it to be perfect, but maybe our list had some more holes in it than we initially thought. Mm-hmm. So starting in January 26, which will be 91 for the Sega Genesis, went through and tweaked them going forward, slid some games around to hopefully cover up some of those holes. So I know there were games that were supposed to be in this month. We'd already had all the gameplay recorded and all that. So instead of going back, we'll catch up. And January was a really small month, so we'll catch up then.
It seems like history has a difficult time recording itself.
To be fair, the internet didn't exist in 1990, so...
yeah.
And then...
Maybe it... Did it not? I don't know.
The other problem is there's so many release dates for these. There's the PAL update, the North American, the Japanese... if the game was released on the NES, if it was released on home computer, eventually Super Nintendo, I think these dates kind of... And then like a company will plan to release a game in July. They can't send updates to your Sega Genesis, so they delay it a couple months, and I think history has a hard time keep catching back up. But as always, shut up, nerd. So let's figure out what else happened in November of 1990.
So, one of our favorite artists, one of the best artists of all time, Whitney Houston, on the 6th of November, released her album, I'm Your Baby Tonight. Remember that song?
I'm your baby. I'm
your baby tonight. Yeah.
I think the main one I remember is from the Bodyguard soundtrack.
It was a fantastic soundtrack as well. Okay, on the 15th, producers confirmed that Milli Vanilli didn't sing on their album, resulting in the duo being stripped of their Best New Artist Grammy and sparking a scandal.
Yeah, I remember that when it came out that they weren't really singing. I think it's pretty commonplace to not sing at a concert, like sort of play it behind the scenes, but when they did it on their album, they're basically just dancers now. So
yeah, dancers and good lip singers.
Yeah.
Well, and then on the 16th, Home Alone, the movie was released.
Nice.
We love that movie.
Yeah, we've already watched it this holiday season.
Gotta watch it again too. And 18th, Dale Earnhardt won his 4th NASCAR Winston Cup.
There you go. Good old number 3.
Was that his number?
I believe so. I'm not the biggest NASCAR fan.
I don't know much about NASCAR.
All I know is if you ain't first, you're last. So, first game up, Burning Force.
This was developed by Nova, published by Namco. The composer is Yoshinori Kawamoto. The genre is third-person rail shooter, and it only plays 1.
You are 21-year-old Hiromi Tengenji, a cadet at Earth University. You need to pass a 6-day final exam to become a spacefighter pilot. You pilot Duck, a hoverbike that can transform into a small fighter aircraft for boss levels. Blast your way through 6 3D levels, which are broken into 4 sections each. Upgrade your weapon with a laser, widespread shot, or cross laser. You can also upgrade your limited use missiles to either a homing or max missile. You can collect 3 green spheres to activate temporary invincibility. This is not a one-hit, one-kill game. You get a life bar. This game has a fantastic soundtrack. Changing vehicles for boss fights can take some time getting used to. The sections after the boss fight is a point rush where you can earn extra lives. Grade C. Alright, so we got a cover art battle. North America versus PAL and Japan.
This one is more close than I'm used to them being. I will say that I like
the booty in the PAL/Japan.
Well, I was going to say the title, the way that they
you were going to say booty.
No. I like the fancied up title. I did not play this game, so which one is more like the gameplay? Is it more like out in the desert, like the North America one, or is it...
Different levels have different backgrounds, so I wouldn't say that makes too big of a difference.
This one's really close for me.
So one little piece of background information about this art. You actually play as the female character there. But they were worried that the North American audience wouldn't like it so much. So if you look at the very bottom, it looks like someone else's hands are controlling the wheel when you're actually playing as a girl in front of her. Whereas the PAL Japan just has the girl on the hover bike.
And if that's who you're actually playing, I'd say we'll go with PAL Japan.
Yeah, I think so. I do hate that. Not that we try to judge just art and not like framing or font, but I'm not the biggest fan of that sort of yellow grid, yellow brick road off to the side there.
Yeah.
All right, up next, we got Hellfire.
So this was developed by Co-ople, published by Seismic Software. The composer is Tatsuya Yumura. The genre is shoot 'em up, and it also only plays 1.
The year is 2998, and the robot dictator Supermech has unleashed a space matter known as Black Nebula to engulf the human-controlled galaxies. You take control of Captain Lancer, piloting the space fighter craft CNCS-1. Blast your way through 6 levels to save the galaxies. The unique thing about this shoot 'em up is you start with 4 different weapons: a straight, a rear, a vertical, and an X shot. Your weapons can be upgraded up to 5 times. You can upgrade your speed, pick up a shield, or Seeker Robot Companion. You can unleash the powerful Hellfire attack with the C button. An amazing soundtrack that will help tolerate getting your butt kicked. Grade C. This game, man, is a brutal one. So the whole trick to this one is knowing when to switch that weapon. And that makes sense, but at the same time, so it could be so quickly you need to switch, and you can only go through your weapons in one particular direction. So like, let's say you were on the rear shot shooting behind you. Now all of a sudden you need to shoot in front of you. Well, you still have to cycle through vertical and X shot to then eventually loop back around to the forward shot.
So you can't just like automatically go to the forward
Right,
shot. You
yeah.
have to go in an
Cycle.
order.
Yeah. So you're always cycling. The Hellfire shot is pretty cool. It's a great big beam, but it does not also follow that same directional weapon. It only shoots straight. So if you really need a strong vertical shot, the Hellfire ain't gonna do it for you. The C grade is because of just how brutally difficult it is. Okay, up next we got John Madden Football.
The European title for this was John Madden American Football.
I don't know why they felt the need to put that caveat in there. Football is football, everybody knows that.
Soccer. This was a sequel to the 1988 John Madden Football computer game. It was developed by Park Place Productions, published by Electronic Arts, so EA, designed by Troy London, Scott Orr, and Richard Heilman. The genre is sports and it plays 1 or 2 players.
The game that started a legacy that still lives to this very day. The game has over 30 sequels because they're in 26, so if it started in 88, I mean, that's crazy. The series is consistently one of the best sellers year after year here in the States. John Madden is so synonymous with football video games, it has surpassed his Hall of Fame coaching career, in which he has the highest win percentage of all time. It has surpassed his legendary run as color commentator, where he sort of trademarked the boom and bam and pow during football games. When EA originally approached him about being the spokesperson of the game, it was a 7-on-7 skeleton football game. So no meat, so no linemen.
Okay.
They call it skeleton football. He said no until there are 11 men on both sides of the ball. It does not have the NFL license, so you play as cities without mascots. It does not have the NFLPA license, so the players do not have names. It only has 16 instead of 28 games, or 28 teams. It also has an all Madden team with the best players in the game, but again, they don't have names, so good luck trying to figure out who they are. This game was not released in Japan, so let's check in with our Japanese correspondent, Godzilla. He is mad. This game launched arguably the greatest video game dynasty of all time, and Japan did not get it. Grade B. This game has been the hardest to grade of any game so far. It's hard to not put the weight of this giant, massive franchise that has launched esports into the stratosphere. I mean, there are YouTube and television shows related to this game. You know, people playing this game, everything. The game itself is probably closer to a C. Again, like when you compare it to other football games of its era, it's amazing. But at the same time, it doesn't have, the players' names or the mascots. The playbook's a little dumbed down, so it's tough to... So I took all of that, put it in a blender, and it spat out a B. We do have another cover art battle, and for me, this one's obvious, but I'll let Mary speak first.
So we have the North America, where it's actually got John Madden there on the front, between the two teams, with the football in the middle, and then you have the PAL, where it's got the football players lined up. And I just think that that's a cool look. The football players lined up.
The football players lined up?
Yeah, I know that it makes sense to have John Madden on the cover of his own game.
Right.
So that probably would make that one win, but I do really like the lineup of the football players on the PAL.
It's not bad. I think the problem is, since they don't have the NFL license, they're just the red team.
Well, they edited out their logo.
I assume that's no. It can't. The Chiefs have white. It might still be the Chiefs. I don't remember the 1990 uniforms that great. But the faces are also kind of blacked out. I think the clear winner is North America. You gotta give John Madden some love. This, it did have a computer pre-release, but this is a game that really took this franchise into the stratosphere.
Very nice.
Up next, we got Strider.
This was developed and published by Sega. The arcade was originally designed by Capcom. It was designed by Tokuro Fujiwara. The genre is action platformer, and players won.
It's the 21st century, and Earth has been ravaged by ecological disasters that cost the lives of millions. After the catastrophe, one man took control of the remains of the human race. Grandmaster Meow? Seemingly immortal and omnipotent Grandmaster Meow is worshipped as a living god. He declares himself emperor of the world and rules with an iron fist. The Striders step in to stop him, but all of them are wiped out except one Strider, Hiru, the youngest man to ever finish the Strider training program. Armed with his lethal plasma sword, climbing equipment, and robotic weapon companions, it is up to him to save humanity. Battle through 5 levels to beat this game. This game is a beautiful display in fluidity of motion. The animations are spectacular. I love the sound effects and graphics. I thought this would be the first S-tier game when I saw it coming up on the list. But then, boom, a stage timer. No! Grade A.
Good game, huh?
I love this game. It is that jump, attack, fluid, grappling on the walls. You can climb up walls. You can climb over ceilings. It's beautiful. But why did they put a stage timer in there? Oh, God.
Mario did it.
Yeah. Mario gives you a lot more time than this game. You got like 90 seconds. It wants you to really push that fluidity of motion and no wasted movements. And old timers like me like to stay playing it and kill everybody with my laser plasma sword. It's beautiful.
You like to be slow and take your time.
Yeah, I am. I'm slow. So we do got another cover art battle. I believe it's our last one. North America and PAL team up against Japan. The North American PAL looks like a guy who drives a pickup and
this is
smokes Marlboro Reds.
Very obvious winner here with Japan.
Yeah, Japan. And Your hero doesn't look anything like that dude. I have no idea what they were thinking. It was like, hey, give me a dude with a sword. But he has a metal sword, not the plasma sword. He's not this young man. He looks like he's in his 40s. Enjoys a fine cognac in the evening. So, and I'm not the biggest fan of that font.
Yeah.
So I think
Although I
Japan
can't
wins it
exactly
all the way around.
read Japan's either. You know, it's not in
But it
English.
looks pretty.
It does look pretty. But obviously a much
Yes.
better cover.
Yeah. The final game of the month, Zany Golf.
Developed and published by Electronic Arts. Designer is Will Harvey. The genre is sports and it plays 1 to 4.
Yeah, so this game is one of the few that you could pass the Sega controller around and get 4 players. You begin this game with a cachet of 5 strokes. Each hole you are granted a number of strokes equal to par. Shoot under par, gain that number of strokes. Go over par and dip into your cachet. Run out of strokes and it's game over. EA has apparently never played golf because that is not how that works. The game will give you additional strokes for hitting certain items on the course, which are not generally the best pass, so if you happen to miss extremely wildly, you can pick up an extra stroke. Hold the A button and pull back on the D-pad to determine power and angle. The A button also activates various hole effects, such as how high the hamburger jumps up and pinball paddles. The Sega Genesis has 3 buttons. Why you need to use the same button for both of those, who knows. This game has 9 holes, just like its mother. This game was not released in Japan, so let's check in once again with Godzilla. That's one happy kaiju. You didn't have to play this turd. Grade F. This, I hate it when they use the same. It has 3 buttons. Even the NES at the time had 2 buttons. Why do you got to use the same button for both things? To pull back and to launch. So you can't get like the hamburger bouncing over the hole.
But what's this hamburger you're talking about? I thought we were talking about golf.
It is putt-putt. And so there's this hamburger that you can get to jump. It sits right on top of the hole. And you can get it to jump off the hole by smashing the A button. But you can't do that before you hit, because that's the button you have to use for putting the actual ball. Even though they have a B and a C button, they use the same button. And then the pinball level is just absolute awful. So you're on a pinball course and you got to get it. You got to activate a couple switches and get it over. But it's pinball. I mean, the whole purpose is sometimes the ball goes right in between the paddles or goes behind the paddles and you lose.
Yeah.
You lose your ball. But when it's putt-putt and you still have that same mechanic where it can go straight through. Now if it spat the ball out and maybe a disadvantaged position, like further away from the hole, and you gotta do a second longer putt, okay, that makes sense. No, you just lose your ball and you gotta start all the way over. Just absolutely awful. Let's get into these rankings. Strider coming up just slightly short of that top spot at number 2. Really, really love this game. If you have not played it, I strongly recommend it. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. 19, we got John Madden Football. 24, Hellfire. 25, Burning Force. And 42 of Zany Golf. Again, January, we're going to catch up on some of the games that were supposed to be in this month that we missed. I'll talk more about that in January, but let us know down in the comments section if you've played any of these. Do you agree with our rankings? What'd you think of the cover art battle? And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Hey, Pumpkin.
Mm-hmm.
Max went to a gun show this weekend.
Yes.
You didn't need to. We got one right here at the house. Yeah. Yeah. Even sick. Still got the guns. Some sick guns.
These are the guns.